Welcome to You're Not Alone, the podcast that brings you real stories of strength, hope, and resilience. Life is full of challenges, and if you are navigating a personal struggle, facing difficult challenges, or simply looking for an inspiration, this space is for you. My name is Victoria Vita. I'm a mindset mentor, Reiki master, and a sound healer. I'm also the CEO and founder of Self Awesomeness and the host of this podcast. This podcast is here to give you hope, inspiration, and the reminder that you have community behind you. Our guests are real people just like you who have faced losses, anxieties, and life obstacles, but emerged stronger. And their stories are raw, honest, and full of hope, reminding you no matter how tough things get, you are not alone. And today's guest was adopted homeless at 18 and faced a difficult start, but she made one fierce decision. I only have two options, yes and yes. Failure wasn't on the table. While others doubted, she declared, I'm going to own hotels. And by 30, she did. She bought one and then she bought her second one. But her greatest transformation came later, and I'll let her to talk about her transformation. Let's welcome Tracey Whitten Sunset Gold, whose story isn't just about story about business. It's a story about destiny. Thank you, Tracey, for being on today's podcast. I'm honored to have you and agreeing you to share your amazing story. Can you please tell us what was it like growing up and how did you find yourself homeless at 18?
Well, thank you for having me on today. It's my honor, actually. It's an absolute pleasure. I think it's so important that we always come together in community and help each other through this great awakening process. So, thank you for your
Yeah,
service as being a ground
thank you.
trooper and bringing stories like mine and so many others to the general public because it's really going to take all of us to come together in unity consciousness to bring heaven on earth. So, thank you. So,
Yeah,
I'll start with that.
thank you.
So you asked me about my childhood. Um, wasn't very good. it was
I mean, being homeless at 18, it doesn't
it wasn't
sound
very
really
good.
fun.
No.
Yes.
It was terrible actually, but it was my greatest gift and it was my superpower, I mean, just like when the butterfly emerges from the cocoon,
Hmm.
you have to go into that chrysalis and make everything mush before you can emerge. And so um, even at a very young age, I knew that my family life was very unhealthy. It was very dark. It was very lonely. It was very scary. But I knew that I was guided by the universe. I knew that I had some higher presence that was
Hmm.
helping me, and I was never afraid of that beginning. I knew it was. I knew there was a reason for it, and
Hmm.
I didn't feel sorry for myself because kids are resilient, right? Like kids can go through
I
stuff
know.
and they're
You
resilient.
you were one of them for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Your greatest
Um,
example.
so my father was a drug addict, very violent, bipolar, and my mother was in survival mode. And at a young
Hmm.
age, I would say, "Mom, why aren't we leaving? Like this is bad." And
Hmm.
she
Yes.
was afraid for her life and always said, "He will kill me." And that would have been the case for sure. I saw
Hmm.
it. So I understood her victim mentality and her victim program. I mean, so many people today have
Yes.
that program, that fear program and that victim program. So I understood that at a young age, and I kind of mothered her and
Mm.
tried
Hmm.
tried to give her strength
Yes.
to just survive, And I knew that once I was an adult, I didn't have to live in that vibration anymore. And so we moved my senior year, which was terrible. Like, ooh, that was really sad and painful for me. And then my father went into such a dark place and a deep, deep depression that he was extremely violent, and we had to put a restraining order on him. He almost killed my mom.
Oh,
I mean, it
wow.
was
I'm
horrible,
sorry.
horrible, horrible time back then. Um, And so, yeah, I mean, he almost killed her, and then she took him back immediately with a restraining order. So I was like, okay,
Oh my goodness.
I can't be in this environment anymore. I can't be around him because, oh, well, maybe I'm going to hurt him because he was hurting my mom, you know,
Yes, yes.
and she couldn't do anything about it. She couldn't mother me because she couldn't even take care of herself.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So that's how I ended up on my own at that very young age. You know, I got myself into college. This was before I knew the plan, but I got myself into college. They kick you out for a Christmas break. You know, you can't stay
Yes.
in the dorms during
Mm-hmm.
break. They kick you out, and so where was I going to go? I had nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I got on a bus and I came to Maine, and I was staying with this friend, and he left, and I had the key to the apartment. Thank God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I left for 2 days, and I came back, and all of the furniture was gone. The electricity was turned off. The heat was turned off. It was January. It was like that first week of January, and it was
Oh wow.
really cold in Maine. So I was
It's
hiding.
Maine, yes.
Yeah,
It's not Florida, right?
no, it
So
was
it's one
really
of the yeah.
cold, and so I was hiding out in that apartment for a couple of weeks, and finally I just broke, and I called a friend and said, "Can I crash on your couch
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of this break?" So that was kind of the beginning, and then that next summer I was 18, and you know, I felt fearless because when you're a kid, you don't have time to be woe is
Mm-hmm.
me. I didn't turn to drugs. Like I had grown up with drugs, so for me, drugs was not an option
So
because it
you made your choice, right? So some people would follow that path, but you made a different choice.
completely. I knew everything about what I was living in was backwards. I knew that it
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
unhealthy. It was not sustainable for humanity. It just was not a good
Mm-hmm.
vibration. But
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I had to be in the vibration to see it and understand it, you know?
Yes.
Like kids who grow up with a lot probably are not as resilient as kids who grow up with nothing. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
when you have
Yes.
nothing that you have your superpower. It's when you
Yes.
have
Yeah.
everything.
Sometimes I feel this way. Yes.
It's when you have everything you can become complacent and think that things
Mm-hmm.
are easy. And so I knew that that was going to be my superpower, and I wasn't afraid of my beginning. I was like, okay, this is my battery. I can do this. And so,
Yes. That's amazing.
yeah, I heard this Harvard business study that said 3% of the population have long-term goals. And after 30 years, that 3% has 98% of the wealth. And so I
Mm-hmm.
was a homeless kid, 18 years old, sitting on a hill in Bar Harbor, Maine, working in a resort hotel, very beautiful resort hotel. And I thought, okay, I'm going to be part of the 3%. I need a long term plan. What the hell am I going to do with my life? So I'm
Yeah. Oh wow.
looking around. I'm working in this beautiful resort hotel, and I started watching the owner, and I thought, yep, I'm going to own hotels. That's what I'm going to do. This is a fun environment. People are out of their normal routine. They're not going to
Mm-hmm.
work every day, so the vibe was
Yes.
cool. I like the vibe, and yeah, I made the decision at 18 that that's what I was going to do, and I said, okay, how am I going to do that? How am I going to get from this point,
Yes.
no family, no money, no home, nothing, to
Yes.
owning a hotel? So I said, okay, at 35, I'm going to buy one. I'm going to put
Mm-hmm.
myself through college. Decided to become a CPA like you, which was a tremendous gift. It's such a gift to know your accounting if you're going to be a business owner. I'll give that little tip.
Yes.
If you're going to be a business
Yes.
owner, know your accounting. That's like, right?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
For sure. So I said, okay, I'm going to go to put myself through college, become a CPA, become a CFO, and then I'm going to buy a hotel. And I stayed the path and did it. Yeah, I bought the
Wow.
first one
That's
at age
incredible.
33.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
that's incredible. It's really incredible that you stayed to kind of you stayed to your plan. You was like you knew what you wanted to do. You didn't know how it looks like, but you kind of determined the path and you pull it through and you bought your hotel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, somehow, I mean, somehow I always heard the
Hmm.
guidance. I
Hmm.
heard the guidance. And so I was gifted at a very young age quantum physics. Somehow I just knew about
Hmm.
being able to change your thoughts into matter. I was gifted that
Yes.
from the universe. And so nobody back in the 90s talked about quantum physics.
No, nobody. Yes, nobody.
And I would talk about it every day, you know, and I would teach people around me, if you have to work with your mind and
Yes.
your intention and your heart, and when you put those things together into the field, you can produce matter.
Yes.
And it worked like a charm. It was like a
Hmm.
magic spell, that knowing how to work with the energy and quantum physics.
Uh-huh.
It was like, oh, I have that
Yes.
superpower. I can use
You
this
can,
to make
yes.
this. Yeah,
Yeah, our mind is a superpower. Yeah,
yeah,
totally agree with that.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So I always
And
felt guided. Yeah,
you didn't only feel guided, looks like, and you heard and understood the messages. So, and you followed the messages. It's not like, yeah, I've heard it, but my mind told me, no, that's not going to happen. How, right? So, a lot of, you didn't have a path right in front of you, what you needed to do. And you didn't have support either, like financial support or support from your parents, but you followed and you listened to those guide to that guidance.
for
Yeah, that's
sure.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
that's part of understanding how to work with the quantum field, is not letting the mind get in the way,
Yeah.
and letting the mind trying to determine the path. You know, in order to
Yes.
really materialize matter from your thoughts, you have to get your mind out of the way and the how out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to
Mm-hmm.
surrender.
The hardest thing to do.
Right, because we all are so in our brains. In the
Yes.
3D, we're in our
Yes.
brains with these
Yes.
calcified pineal glands. But when you can step out of the way and just give all your attention with your heart and surrender it to the
Yeah.
universe figures out the how and will put the path in front of you.
Yeah. And we just have to follow it.
You have
Yes.
to follow the path because they'll lay it
Yes.
out for you and make it simple
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
listen. And
If
I
you listen,
listened,
yes, that you listened,
yeah,
yes. And I think that's what made it possible, right, for you to believe
for
and
sure,
do it actually.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I didn't have a choice. I mean,
You
it was just me in the world. So somebody's in my head saying you're going to own hotels. I'm like, okay,
yeah, yeah. Oh,
heard, I can do this. Yeah, so I just stayed the course. Yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah,
And how did it feel when you bought your second hotel, right? It wasn't just one. So I just kind of want to get the full picture before
yeah.
we jump into your transformation and
So
your destiny.
the first one was like moving a mountain. Like it was hard. It was
Mm-hmm.
brutal
Uh-huh.
because I stayed the course to get to the point where I was early 30s, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready. I was very smart, very successful at my job. I was a
Uh-huh.
CFO. I knew everyone in town, all of the bankers. I was a big CFO for a big company, so I thought that I had the deck stacked in my favor.
Mm-hmm.
I was a woman, all the things. So I'm like, oh, I can do
Yes.
this. Mm-mm. Banks are like, you need cash. You want to buy $1 million hotel, you need to come to the table with 200,000. You need cash, and that was something that I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
at the time. I had the smarts and the will and the business plan and the connections, all of that, but I didn't have the cash.
Cash.
So it
Cash is
was
the king, right?
cash is king. So it was a couple of years, and every bank said no, 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 no.
Mm-hmm.
You're young, like no, 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 and they kept slamming the doors, and my friends would say, just give it up. It's not meant to be. And I'm like, oh no, this is happening. Okay, like this is happening. This will
Uh-huh.
happen. I'm telling you right now. Come hell or high water, I'm buying a damn hotel.
Wow.
So finally, at the end, when I got that first one, I cashed in my 401k. I took a double mortgage on my house. I took a $50,000 cash advance on a credit card at 25.
Oh, wow.
Like
Wow.
and
Wow.
everyone thought I had lost my mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like they thought
Mm-hmm.
I had completely lost my mind. I bankrupted myself. I was
Yes.
making six figures as a CFO of this big company. I had a big house. I was making great money and bankrupted myself, like put myself in massive debt, left
Wow.
that job, I only made that first year, I think 25,000. So I went from like major six figures to 25,000 poor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not afraid to be poor. I've been poor before. I like this.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of this. It's part of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the first one was really,
Wow.
really tough. Really, really tough. And then when I got in there, it was a dump. Dump.
Oh,
The
wow.
hotel was a dump. And I had no money. So it was a long journey, but again, I just felt guided and um I felt like the universe had my back. And
Mm-hmm.
I just kept one foot forward with love and determination and made it work. So then
Mm-hmm.
that was 2001, 2014, so 13 years later, my biggest competitor was selling right up the street from me. And I got the call and they said, Danny Lafayette wants you to buy the Black Bear Inn. And I'm like, what? This is my biggest competitor. Oh, I'm going to buy that hotel. Literally, I picked up the phone to my bank, said, I need $6 million. How soon can you close? They said, give us 30 days. It was that
Oh,
simple.
wow.
That
Wow.
so it
Such a
went
big
from
difference.
moving a mountain 2 years begging with so many doors closing and nobody believing in me to
Wow.
picking up the phone and making the second one effortlessly. So that's how much
Wow.
easier the second one was. Yeah. So yeah, I had planned all along. I thought the plan was to keep
Mm-hmm.
building this
Mm-hmm.
empire. You know,
Yes.
to me success was very 3D and was very material.
Mm-hmm. But
And I
yeah.
didn't realize that that was wrong and that journey was coming to a close totally unbeknownst to me.
Yeah. So were there moments when you felt completely alone? So
In
when you were buying your first hotel, then second, and doing
in
renovations,
reality,
restorations.
yeah, I always felt alone. And
Mm-hmm.
it made me very sad. And I've
Uh-huh.
had to really work hard on healing that wound because I have the mother wound. You know, I'm abandoned by my mother. I
Yes.
met
Yeah.
my birth mother later in life. She abandoned me again.
Oh,
Um,
you met her.
I
Oh,
met her.
wow.
We had a 10-year relationship. She was an alcoholic, had a lot of darkness and
Oh,
pain, and
I'm sorry.
left again. And that really hurt bad. And so
Mm-hmm.
I've had to do an extraordinary amount of work to alchemize that wound, which is the universal
Yes.
wound. You know, I mean,
Yes.
everyone going through healing, you go back to your parents.
Yes. Thanks to them.
You go back to your parents, and so that's
Yeah.
the universal wound that we all have. And so, um, you can beat yourself up trying to heal that wound, or
Hmm.
you can alchemize it in a much gentler way and just seeing them as the wounded child that they are.
Yes. Yeah.
And once you can really see them as the wounded child, you can let go of your expectations and you can forgive them. And so after some work, I understood that she and I had a contract, she being my birth mother, I'm talking about, and she was my transport to this earth.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we
Yes.
had an agreement that she would be the transport, and this pain would be my superpower. And so
Mm-hmm.
now, like in the field, in the energetic field, she and I laugh about that. I mean, we don't have a
Mm-hmm.
relationship in the 3D, but in the energetic field,
Yes.
we have a strong relationship and we laugh
Mm-hmm.
about this contract that
Yeah.
we understand it. And
Yes.
yeah, so yes, I always felt alone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
But you kept pushing it.
I felt alone on the planet, but I didn't feel alone in my heart and in my mind
Mm-hmm.
because I had spirit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, I had two really great husbands. My first husband was amazing, and my second husband is amazing too. So I've had two really good husbands
That's amazing. Yes.
that
That's great.
that took that loneliness out of my heart
Mm-hmm.
and gave
Mm-hmm.
me family. Like for the first time, I had family, and then I had my
Mm-hmm.
children, and then I had more family. Yeah. So being alone never scared me. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to be alone. It's in those lonely moments where you get insight and you can hear
Yes.
and you can
Yes.
when you get the silence, you can hear. So
Yes, but we sometimes don't allow ourselves to be in silence. So we just
totally,
occupy our mind with everything instead of just being with ourselves. And sometimes it's very scary to hear, to listen, and to make a leap. As you made a leap,
for sure.
I would like you to talk about it when you turn 50. So I don't want to spoil the whole journey.
Yeah. On my 50th birthday, the day of, I was at the hotel, at working at the desk, doing my thing, just totally in my zone, which I, had done for many years. And all of a sudden I heard, you need to sell the hotels. You're done. And
Mhm.
I'm like, what? What? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is my identity. This is my ego. This is my
Yes.
security. This is my superpower.
Yes.
I'm only 50. Like, what do you mean I have to sell the hotel? Like, I just did not see that coming.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
really didn't see
Hmm.
it coming. Um,
As you said before, you thought that was your success story, right?
I
So, and
thought that was
something
my
was
success.
changing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I was on the top of my game professionally. I was on all the boards and I knew everyone in town. And I had the only two hotels in Orono, Maine, which is where the state flagship was. Like I was on the
Hmm.
top of my game and it was rolling and it was easy. It was
Hmm.
cash flowing. I
Hmm.
mean, everything was grand. Nope, you're done. And it was relentless. Like at first I was like, I'm imagining this. Like they didn't just
Yeah.
say
No,
that.
no, no.
They're like, we're
Mind, right?
we're
Giving you
extracting you.
tricks.
We're extracting you. Now you need to get to work. And I'm
Hmm.
like, what the heck does that mean? And
Hmm.
it was not optional for me. That was just as the message came when I was 18, sitting on that hill, I'm going to own hotels. This message was as clear and as potent and non-negotiable. You're done. We're extracting you. You need to get to work. And so I listened. I sold the
So, how
hotel.
did your ego let you sell what you've been doing for years and kind of let it go and start totally new journey?
You go through the dark night of the soul, which is painful.
Hmm.
You let your ego die, and that's pain. That's a painful
It's
process.
painful.
It's a
Hmm.
really painful process, but it's also the beautiful process. It's the caterpillar in the chrysalis turning
Hmm.
everything to mush. When
Yes.
everything turns to mush and you're in the void, you come out the butterfly. And
Yes.
so it was, well, that actually was 2020
Hmm.
and the world shut down and
Yes.
nobody's going to buy a hotel during COVID. I had
Yes.
50 employees. I had a $40,000 per week payroll with no one coming through the front door, and nobody's going to buy a hotel. So I had the perfect storm of chaos. I had my whole ego flipping and changing. I had the world shutting down in COVID, and I had my staff to protect. And it was
Yes.
complete torture and hell. I drank a lot and cried a lot. It was rough. It was very, very rough.
Hmm.
And they kept saying, be patient, be patient. It's going to be all right. And I'm like, this sucks.
Yes.
And yeah, I just stayed the course. Thankfully, my family was very supportive and we got through that time. And then I sold it at the end of 2022. So it took 2 years
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
sell. And all through that time, I was running a parallel program of I'm becoming a healer. They
Hmm.
just kept
Hmm.
putting things in my path like we want you to do sound bath training. We want you to do
Yeah.
cacao training. We want you to train with the shamans. We want you to follow the path of the I am with Matthias DeStefano. Like they just
Hmm.
kept putting all the things in my path and I think they did it that way. When I say they, I mean spirit. Um to kind of keep my mind occupied on something fresh and new because the stress of holding those two hotels during COVID was unbearable.
Yeah.
It was an unbearable
I can
weight,
imagine. Yeah.
to carry. And I think having all of these tools being handed to me just
Yes.
kept my mind focused on something else
Hmm.
rather than the torture I was in on a daily basis.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
So I listened and just kept studying, and still to this day, I study all day, every day, a full-time job. All I do is study healing.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Yes.
said, we gave you this business so that you didn't have to chase the dollar, but
Mm-hmm.
now you need to be a steward of this money and you need to help people with your heart. And we're going to
And
give
that's what he.
you a huge toolbox with all kinds of super cool advanced things in it, and
Mm-hmm.
you need to use it to help people
Mm-hmm.
in the awakening. So that's what I did.
So, and you sold it, and now you are helping people to heal, to understand the whole mind, body, and spirit connection, and I guess teach them how to actually listen and hear the messages.
Totally. Yes. Yes. Once you get a taste of the 5D frequency, once you taste it,
Hmm.
you can't untaste it. And I've tasted
Yeah.
it. And
Hmm.
it's to really feel unconditional love and telepathic communication and that really high frequency.
Yeah.
It's it's heaven on earth. That's how we get to heaven on earth is the 5D
Yeah.
frequency. And it is happening. People are waking up rapidly, but many people aren't, and they're afraid of
Hmm.
it. It's woo woo. Like my friends think
Yeah.
it's very woo woo, and so they can't even talk to me about it because
Hmm.
they're afraid of it because it's not it's new. It's it's not the 3D 80s
Yes.
vibe that we grew up in. It's a whole
Yeah.
new vibration, and so I'm really in a place now where I'm trying to figure out how to balance who I
Hmm.
really am, which is a medicine woman, with the people who can't hear the messages because they're afraid.
Hmm.
They're afraid of the high
Yes.
frequency. And so that's a real challenge right now is just trying to figure out the balance and not frighten
Hmm.
people with the woo-woo talk. If I start talking Galactic Council and the Federation, and if I start saying what I really think, they shut down. They can't hear anything.
Yes.
Yeah, so uh,
Yeah.
that's a balancing act trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that because some of my friends, I remember they used to say, why are you doing this? You have a great job. Just stay and do your debits and credits, and that's it. And now a few years later, they're like, oh yeah, we see why you're doing this. Like you're different. And now I think I changed even like uh physically changed too, and emotionally and energetically, so they can see the change, because I think if you do what you really like to do and what you're meant to do, it's different. It is different vibe, and it's scary to talk about it, and it's scary for people to actually listen and hear, but oh, what is she doing? I mean, she was financial statements and now she's talking about Reiki healing or energy healing, right? So it's like
Totally.
totally
Yeah.
yeah, like two like totally different things, but at the same time it's still I feel like it still defines us, right? So we used to balance debits and credits, and we're balanced in life, from
Totally.
energy standpoint, from healing standpoint, and it's both balances are important in our life. Yeah, this
Completely.
is how I look.
Completely.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've just that's come into my awareness recently on this topic is I'm not a piano player, but on the piano, right? On the left hand, you play your bass notes. Bump, bump,
Hmm.
bump,
Oh,
bump,
I don't know, I never
bump,
play
bump.
piano, but
I don't play piano either, but I do know that part of it is on the left hand
okay.
is your lower
Hmm.
bass notes, your bump, bump. It keeps the
Hmm.
it keeps the structure
Yes.
of the song. And on the right hand, you play the melody.
Hmm.
And so the analogy that I use that's really helped me a lot is the 5D frequency is the melody. It's
Yes.
the pretty stuff. But it doesn't sound right without the structure. And
Yes.
so now I have a new appreciation for my 3D friends.
Hmm.
I call them this is
Hmm.
my 3D world.
Yes.
Now I have a new appreciation because once I tasted the 5D, I wanted to be here in this space.
Correct.
And this is where it feels so beautiful, and I just love this space. But the song doesn't sound right if you don't have the bass note
Hmm.
structure. So the 3D reality and these 3D frequencies and our 3D people are so important for the
Yes.
symphony.
And I think they will help to find a way to support those who are in their awakening or the ones who are transformed, like going through their transformation too. Because for us, it seems like it's norm right now, but they are helping us to see what is not norm anymore. And they're seeking for help. And some of them listening, some of them are just observing yet. Some of them just like hearing this information and testing if it's real or not. But I think our main role is to keep talking about it and keep supporting them.
For sure.
Yeah,
Because, everybody resonates with somebody different,
of course. Yes.
and it's just a matter of finding who you resonate with, to
Yes.
help
Yeah.
you come out of your chrysalis.
Yes.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
And you said you're a medicine woman. What does that mean? So can you please talk about it as
Um,
well?
yeah, so I feel like I have two strands of DNA running through me, and they have just really come into clearer focus this
Mm-hmm.
summer, actually. One strand is Atlantis. I'm
Mm-hmm.
Atlantean. I have just really strong remembrances of that time, and the land in Egypt opens that, opens
Mm-hmm.
those memories. Have
Mm-hmm.
you done Egypt, the initiate's path along the Nile?
No, I just went to Egypt. I was there in November, just meeting with my family. Yeah, but I was there.
Yeah,
No, no initiation, but just being there.
yeah. So that land, and the vibration there is such a strong portal, and
Mm-hmm.
that has opened up such a huge part of who I really am. And when I stepped in, when I was at the Temple of Dendara, I just had a full blown remembrance of myself working there, as a medicine woman with herbs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have
Mm-hmm.
visions of being a young woman walking with another priestess, collecting herbs, working with herbs. When I saw the oil recipes on the walls in
Wow.
um, in Edfu, I just kind of went into a trance looking at those oil recipes. Like, I know this medicine, and
Oh,
so
wow.
I know this
That's
medicine.
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, and so so just remembering my life as a medicine woman has awakened a lot in me in terms of just understanding energy, understanding ancient techniques like
Mm-hmm.
sound. So I didn't realize. I mean, it all just kind of, they hand it down in like these little codes,
Yes.
but like they said, study sound healing. Okay, so I went and got my master
Mm-hmm.
certification in sound healing, and now it makes sense. That's what the ancients used, was vibration.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so they keep showing me in today's world what to do, but then I find the link or the key that ties me back to another time and place,
Yes.
reality. And
Yes.
so
Mm-hmm.
ancient Egypt and Atlantis is a very strong thread, in my DNA in terms of a medicine woman, and it's just who I was back then. And so I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why it's coming back online, because
Mm-hmm.
it's part of me.
Yeah. So you remember. Mm-hmm.
I'm remembering it. And then the other strand of DNA, which I couldn't understand how it related, but I knew that I had to study shamanism. And so I've
Mm-hmm.
been in deep training for a couple of years with beautiful people. Anchoring the Light, Jamita, and her teacher is Puma from Puma Adventures. He's on Shift Network. He's amazing. And I've been studying with them for a couple of years and really anchoring in that lineage. And I didn't understand why. I'm like, why am I studying shamans, but I feel tied to Atlantis? I'm confused
Mm-hmm.
by this. Why am I being shown so much? And I was in Peru all of June of this past year,
Oh,
and
that's amazing.
Bolivia. And
Mm-hmm.
I was in the Lumerian temples, and I received the remembrance of why they wanted me to connect in with the Lumerian energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I got some pretty deep remembrances of myself as an Atlantean fleeing when Atlantis fell,
Uh-huh.
fleeing to Lemuria in Peru, and the Mu people welcoming me as an Atlantean.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, wow.
it was really powerful and really profound. And the gratitude that I felt just still to this day is coming into my
You
body
still could,
because it's
yeah, you still
overwhelming,
feel it.
actually. It's
Yeah.
overwhelming. And so that second strand of shamanism is because, like, the Lemurian people are my cousins. Like, they welcomed me as a refugee. And
Mm-hmm.
so that I have those two strands. So yeah. So I've been studying the shaman um, lineage of the seven rays for a couple of years now, and just feel really drawn to that more from a place of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Atlantean is more
Yes.
scientific, it's more cosmic, it's more mind based, and the Lumerian energy is more heart based, more earth based. And the
Mm-hmm.
message I got in Peru this year was the new humanity has to weave these energies together, because
Mm-hmm.
Atlantis fell and Lemuria fell.
Mm-hmm.
Both civilizations fell, and they were different civilizations. The Atlantean people were very up, and the Atlanteans were up, and the Lemurian people were down. And we need to merge those energies. And so that's the
Mm-hmm.
messaging.
Maybe that's what we're doing.
That's
Yes.
the
Yeah,
messaging
that's what we're
now,
doing.
is merge the mind with the heart.
Yes.
Merge these
Yes.
merge these things. That's the key.
Yes.
That's
I
the
agree
key.
with you. Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
it's easy to
And
say that and it sounds so simple, but it's really
but it's
profound.
yeah, and it's really hard to do. It's really hard to do. A lot of work needs to be done, like step by step. But I believe, like, if you take one step, the second one will appear, and you'll make it. Just keep walking your path and keep doing, keep listening, keep learning. Pretty much.
And the path's not
Yeah.
linear, right? It's kind of all
No,
over
no.
the place sometimes. Like,
I mean, if it's straight, we're dead, right? So
it's like
no.
all jumbled up.
Yeah, yeah, it should be like a heart rate, right? So it should be just a straight line. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you so much, Tracy. For someone listening who feels stuck, whether in business or spiritually, what one message you would offer them today as your legacy message?
Believe in yourself. Everything is within. The
Mm-hmm.
last 12,000 years, humanity has been in a program of seeking out, of looking for God outside. This is about helping each other on this path. So I think
Yeah.
finding someone that you resonate with. There's spiritual people everywhere. I mean, they come in every form, every shape, every color, every creed,
Yeah.
and they're out there. And so find someone that you resonate with, and use them as a teacher and a guide. I have amazing teachers and amazing guides, and they come in and out of your life, and they fall in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your greatest teacher, then you don't resonate with them anymore, and you find
Yes.
a new one.
Yes. That's
So we're all
beautiful.
learning with each other, and we all have something to help our fellow brothers and sisters. We're all ground troopers. We're all here
Yes.
on earth to enjoy this beautiful playground, this amazing playground.
Beautiful playground.
It's a beautiful
Yeah.
playground. We come earthside to play.
Yeah.
This is like,
Hmm.
and we have to be kids. That's the other thing I would say is, don't lose your child. Be a kid.
Yeah.
Dance,
Yes.
sing, laugh, skip, stomp in the rain, all of that. Like, that keeps your vibration high, is when you can stay in your kid frequency. It's a really
Yes.
powerful vibration, and we lose it.
Mhm.
Like, I forgot how to be a kid. I forgot how to play. I got so serious because I had to survive.
Yes.
And so, yeah, be a kid and learn to breathe.
Okay. So yes, be a kid. Believe in yourself. All answers is are within. Go find your tribe. Go find your people, your support, and breathe. Don't
Breathe,
forget to breathe.
breathe.
Yes.
Like, breathing is the most powerful tool we have. Is learning to
Yes.
use your breath is such a powerful tool, and we don't
Yeah.
we don't know how to use it.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for your amazing, empowering story.
Sure.
It's been really great to have you on today's podcast. You can find more information and connect with Tracy by following the links below this episode. And if you feel stuck and stressed all the time, check out my stress-free aid kit below. This is amazing. You can do it anywhere at any time. And please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another powerful story. And remember, no matter how tough things get, you are not alone.